Coronation Street's Betsy Swain struggles to adjust to her new reality next week, as someone close to her takes violent revenge on Dylan Wilson. As Betsy's loved ones try to convince her that her boyfriend deserves to be punished, Dylan is attacked in the precinct and left unconscious, later waking up in hospital. But who is responsible for the brutal assault? Despite her stroke, Betsy's still madly in love with Dylan, explains our Cobbles insider. It's clear that Betsy doesn't blame him, but everyone else does. Her loved ones are hurting, and someone takes their pain out on Dylan. Back on the street, Betsy misses her old life, especially her relationship with her boyfriend. Even though she knows her mom doesn't want Dylan anywhere near her, Betsy confides in Ryan Connor that she wants to talk to him. After some gentle persuasion from Ryan, Dylan calls round to number 6. The conversation turns tender between the youngsters, as Betsy reassures Dylan that she doesn't blame him for what happened. But as they get close, Lisa returns home. The next day, Lauren Bolton is outraged that Dylan called round, adamant that he must be punished. However, Betsy has more important worries as she struggles with her speech. Meanwhile, at Roy's, Brody Michaelis demands Dylan stay away from Betsy and the two lads come close to blows. Dylan accuses Brody of being jealous, reveals our spy. Nina manages to break them apart, but there's real animosity in the air. And later, she stumbles across Dylan, knocked out and injured in the precinct. After a brief stay in hospital, Dylan goes with Dad Sean to thank Nina for coming to his rescue. Sean immediately points the finger at Brody, but faced with his father confronting Brody in the street, Dylan pulls him away and insists it wasn't him. Is he telling the truth, or merely saving Betsy from further heartache? Unable to cope with her new reality, Betsy refuses to leave the house, leaving Lisa upset and worried about her daughter's future. Lauren pops round and apologizes to Betsy for walking out on her the other day, but will it be so easy to repair their friendship? Betsy has lost her independence, our source points out. She's struggling to adapt and so are the people around her. It's more than just asking for help, it's impacting Betsy's whole identity. The last thing she needs is a vigilante attack on Dylan. So which of her loved ones has sought justice? Coronation Street is preparing to deliver another gripping mystery as Dylan Wilson finds himself at the center of a terrifying attack that leaves the entire Weatherfield community searching for answers. With tensions rising, hidden grudges resurfacing, and several residents harboring dangerous secrets, the incident quickly becomes one of the biggest whodunit stories of the year. The drama begins with Dylan trying to move forward after months of emotional turmoil. Determined to rebuild his life and stay out of trouble, he focuses on repairing damaged relationships and proving he has changed. Friends and family cautiously begin to trust him again, but not everyone is willing to let the past remain buried. As Dylan settles back into everyday life, strange events start occurring around him. Anonymous messages begin appearing on his phone. Someone watches him from across the street. Personal belongings mysteriously disappear before turning up in unexpected places. At first, Dylan convinces himself it's just bad luck, but viewers can sense something much darker is unfolding. Sean notices Dylan becoming increasingly anxious but struggles to get him to open up. Whenever Sean asks what's wrong, Dylan insists everything is under control. However, his nervous behavior becomes impossible to ignore. Even his closest friends realize he's hiding something. Meanwhile, rumors spread throughout Weatherfield after several residents witness heated confrontations involving Dylan. One explosive argument takes place outside the cafe, while another erupts in the Rover's return. Before long, half the street appears to have a reason to be angry with him. The situation becomes even more complicated when an old secret unexpectedly resurfaces. Information from Dylan's troubled past threatens to destroy the fragile progress he has made. Although he insists he wants a fresh start, not everyone believes his intentions are genuine. As pressure mounts, viewers see several suspicious characters acting strangely. One resident is caught secretly following Dylan late at night. Another desperately attempts to erase text messages before anyone can read them. Someone else lies about where they were during a crucial moment. The mystery reaches a boiling point during a community charity event. Residents gather expecting an enjoyable evening, but simmering tensions explode into a series of heated confrontations. Dylan becomes involved in multiple arguments, leaving plenty of witnesses convinced someone may finally snap. Later that evening, Dylan leaves the event alone after another emotional exchange. Rain pours across the cobbles as he walks through the deserted street, unaware someone is quietly following behind. Moments later, a loud crash echoes through Weatherfield. A shocked resident discovers Dylan lying unconscious after a brutal attack. Blood stains the pavement, while the attacker has vanished without leaving an obvious clue behind. Emergency services rush to the scene as panicked neighbors desperately try to help. Sean arrives and is left devastated by what he sees. Watching his son being loaded into an ambulance becomes one of the most heartbreaking moments of the year. Doctors work frantically to stabilize Dylan's condition while loved ones wait anxiously for updates. The uncertainty leaves everyone fearing the worst. As news spreads across Weatherfield, the police launch a major investigation. Detectives quickly realize this wasn't a random assault. Someone deliberately targeted Dylan. The investigation immediately uncovers multiple suspects. One resident admits arguing with Dylan shortly before the attack but insists they left before anything happened. Another claims they were home alone, although their timeline doesn't quite add up. CCTV footage mysteriously cuts out at the worst possible moment, creating even more confusion. Investigators begin interviewing everyone connected to Dylan. Sean struggles to remain calm while answering difficult questions. Although devastated by his son's injuries, he knows withholding information could allow the attacker to escape justice. Friends reveal Dylan had recently become frightened by anonymous threats. Unfortunately, nobody knows who sent them or why. Police then recover a damaged mobile phone near the crime scene. Although badly broken, forensic experts believe it may contain vital evidence capable of identifying the attacker. Elsewhere, nervous behavior among several residents becomes increasingly suspicious. One suspect secretly burns a piece of paper before anyone can read it. Another hurriedly washes muddy clothing late at night. Someone unexpectedly books a taxi out of Weatherfield without explaining where they're going. Each revelation sends fans racing to social media with fresh theories. Could the attacker be someone seeking revenge? Was Dylan targeted because he knew a dangerous secret? Or has an entirely unexpected enemy finally decided to strike? The mystery deepens after a witness comes forward claiming they saw a hooded figure running from the scene moments after the attack. However, visibility was poor, making identification almost impossible. Detectives then receive another breakthrough. A nearby security camera captures someone disposing of an object shortly after the assault. Although the footage isn't perfectly clear, investigators believe the item could be linked to the attack. As forensic teams analyze the evidence, tensions throughout Weatherfield continue escalating. Residents begin accusing one another. Friendships fracture. Families argue. Old wounds reopen. Even people completely unrelated to Dylan become caught up in the investigation as suspicion spreads across the entire community. Sean refuses to give up hope. He spends every possible moment beside Dylan's hospital bed, praying for signs of improvement. Eventually, Dylan briefly regains consciousness. But instead of identifying his attacker, he remembers only fragments of the terrifying encounter. He recalls hearing footsteps. He remembers recognizing a familiar voice. Then everything goes black. His partial memory creates even more questions than answers. Police now know Dylan likely recognized whoever attacked him. That means the culprit is almost certainly someone already known to Weatherfield. The revelation dramatically narrows the investigation while increasing paranoia among residents. Every conversation suddenly appears suspicious. Every glance carries hidden meaning. Every alibi faces closer examination. Meanwhile, the real attacker desperately tries to stay one step ahead. They secretly monitor the investigation while carefully manipulating those around them. When police begin closing in, the culprit makes another dangerous decision. Evidence suddenly disappears. A key witness changes their statement. Someone receives anonymous threats warning them to stay silent. Detectives realize the attacker isn't finished. They're actively interfering with the investigation. Determined to uncover the truth, police organize a dramatic reconstruction of the night Dylan was attacked. Residents reluctantly retrace their movements while detectives compare conflicting accounts. Several stories immediately begin falling apart. One suspect cannot explain missing minutes from their timeline. Another is caught telling two completely different versions of the same event. The pressure becomes unbearable. Eventually, hidden relationships, secret meetings, and long-buried resentments are dragged into the open. Just when everyone believes the mystery is close to being solved, another shocking twist changes everything. Forensic analysis reveals evidence pointing toward someone nobody had seriously considered. The revelation leaves both investigators and viewers completely stunned. Could the obvious suspects have been innocent all along? Or is someone cleverly framing another resident to escape punishment? As Dylan slowly recovers, he becomes determined to remember exactly what happened. Every passing day brings another small piece of the puzzle. A familiar scent. A distinctive jacket. A single phrase spoken during the attack. These tiny details slowly build toward a dramatic confrontation that promises to expose the truth. When the attacker finally realizes Dylan's memory is returning, panic sets in. Knowing time is running out, they prepare one final desperate move to protect their secret forever. The explosive showdown that follows leaves Weatherfield reeling once again, as shocking truths finally come to light and unexpected betrayals are exposed. The consequences will be enormous. Families will be divided. Friendships will be shattered. Trust will be destroyed. And Dylan's terrifying ordeal will leave a lasting impact on everyone connected to him. As Coronation Street delivers another unforgettable mystery packed with twists, red herrings, emotional performances, and nail-biting suspense, viewers can expect weeks of gripping drama before the identity of Dylan's attacker is finally revealed. One thing is certain, after this shocking whodunit, life on the cobbles may never be the same again. Coronation Street airs on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and streams on ITVX. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Crown ST.